Okay, so we are going to talk about our car crash Newton's Law poster. We are going to do it on paper. That's the first piece. Okay. So you can see that listed right here to be done on paper. Unless you're like suddenly absent or something, but if you're here, you're good. Okay. I'll do it on paper. And one of the primary reasons I want to do this on paper is this is your opportunity to show me you know these laws. Okay. And show me that not only do you know each law individually, but you can actually apply it to a scenario all together at the same time. Okay. And that's kind of why we want to do it on paper. And we want to make sure that we're not plagiarizing. Okay. Please, if you've had issues with this in the past, do not plagiarize. Not only is it wrong to do so, but the way this project is set up is that it's probably not something that's easily just blatantly Googleable, right? Like that's a word. So if you find yourself copying directly, or as I know we have a tendency to do, rearranging the words of something we found online, realize that that's probably not exactly what we're looking for anyway. And you're probably still better off telling me what you know in your own words, okay, to the best of your ability. All right. I can guarantee you if I find you plagiarizing or what do you want to call it, paraphrasing, okay, that would be an issue that I'm just going to give it back to you and let you have a restart, a redo on it, okay? And with that in mind, I do want you to know there is not one correct answer that I'm looking for, okay? There's really, it's your ability to explain, okay? It's not like you have to pick the right thing and explain it in the perfectly right way, okay? That's not it. Okay, you get to pick, you get to choose something. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, but it's more so your ability to explain and to connect these things together, to connect the laws with, in this case, the car accidents that we're going to be dealing with. Okay, in the document here, if you opened up this document, it'll say pictures in there. Just know that with those pictures, I want it to be a free body diagram, sticking in kind of in line with what we have on our vocab projects. Okay. Could you use those? Yeah, some of us have been using cars and collisions and those types of things in there. Could you modify it? Absolutely. Okay. But we want that to be a free body diagram. That's going to show us things in motion. It's going to show all of the forces acting on the cars that are being in an accident. And that's going to set us up for a lot of success. The only thing we'll probably have to add in addition to what we may have already done on the vocab project, is the safety features themselves. Okay, which maybe you did do that. I haven't looked at everyone's individually. Okay, so without further ado, the focus of this project, you can read it up on top there. Okay, is that you are in an accident. We're not preventing the accident. I'm sorry. Okay, but we are in an accident. Okay. And the unfortunate and the partly sad side to this scenario is that people have died in car accidents and people continue to die in car accidents. Okay. I myself have lost two different friends to not wearing seatbelts. Okay. And I know in relation to this project that I did last year with a student, they shared with me that they started wearing their seatbelt. They got into a pretty nasty accident. They spent what I believe turned out to be some days in a coma or in a coma-like state this spring. But luckily, they were wearing their seatbelts, and they are doing well right now, and they're attending school. Okay, so people have died, people continue to die. So we are going to put ourselves in an accident, and the reason we have to be in the accident and we're not preventing the accident is that when you're in the accident, Newton's laws are going to take over. Okay. Those laws, Newton's first law, second law, third law, they all take over. You are not in control anymore. Okay. All right. And they are acting on you how they are supposed to act on all objects. Okay. Whether it be dropping the water balloons or throwing a ball or running. Okay. Unfortunately, they are acting on you and they are taking over. Okay. And they may cause you harm. The question is what and how do the safety features of the car protect you from Newton's laws? Okay, so I don't want to set it up as like Newton's laws are the bad guy, but they kind of are in this case. When you get into an accident, Objects at rest, stay at rest. Objects in motion, stay in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Well, how much force is there? Is that force equal and opposite? What's conserved? Okay, all that comes to play when you're in that accident. The question is what is going to protect you and keep you alive and well? Okay, all right, so you can't pick safety features like headlights because the headlight is there to see at night so that you can not get into an accident, right? Okay, we unfortunately are going to put ourselves in the accidents, okay? So you got to pick safety features that are going to protect you while you are in an accident, okay? We've been talking a lot about collisions. Hopefully you don't have personal experience. I'm sorry if you do, got a little PTSD. I understand. I've been there myself. But what's going to protect you when you're in that accident, okay? See, I think I talked about most of these here. We are going to be working on these over the next couple of days. You'll start them today. You'll have a day to work on them, and then they'll be due on Friday. So I'll ask that you take a picture of your finished assignment and submit that to me, just like we did with the vocab check the other day. That seemed to work really well. That was really good. You guys did a nice job with that. So we'll do that. I still want to collect them. I'd prefer to not grade them on the computer, but I need something to take attendance, okay? So we'll do that, and I will collect them the next time I see you next week. In your guys' case, that'd be Monday, okay? All right? But I do need them done on Friday so that I can take attendance, okay? And probably start to grade them as well. Getting into the doc itself. Okay, here's the doc. Can I zoom in a little bit? No, I can't. Okay. It talks about up at the top, gives you some questions to answer as far as brainstorming is concerned. Like I mentioned already, vehicles have improved over time. Okay, they used to not have seat belts and airbags, and they didn't even have windshields. Okay, so you might want to start by looking at a little bit of the history of vehicles. Okay, where were we? Where are we now? And then also get into where could we go in the future, or where are we going to go? What are the next logical steps in terms of improving the safety of the vehicle? Okay, all right. So you might need to do a little bit of research there if you're not certain on certain safety devices. Okay, there is much, much more in terms of safety devices than seat belts. Okay, all right. As a matter of fact, for each of the three laws, you see the table down below here. Okay, for each of the three laws, I'm going to ask that you pick a different safety feature. A different safety feature for each. So you want to use seatbelts? Great. I recommend that you wear them and you use them for one of the laws in this project. Okay, but you only get to use them for one law. You have to pick a different safety feature for a different law. Okay. Once again, it's up to your ability to explain how that might then affect the safety of yourself and the vehicle. Okay. Hey, if you're in here, go ahead and make a copy for yourselves. You don't actually need to do anything in the doc here. It's simply just for you to have an idea of how we are going to assess you. Okay. And so you can see level 1, you have an incomplete explanation of Newton's law, and then the picture, it does not relate to the car crash or Newton's law at all. So if you just put a picture of a seatbelt, that's not good. Okay. We want to see that free body diagram. We want to see the sum of all the forces acting on you, the person, or the person in the car accident with the seatbelt at play. Okay. All right. We want to see how that is involved. All right. In its entirety. Once again, it doesn't have to be the Mona Lisa of pictures here. Okay. But you do need to be able to make a free body diagram. If you are really good at drawing, well, maybe that requires a little less of an explanation. Okay. If you're maybe drawing is not your strong suit, you're going to want to add a little bit of more of an explanation than maybe somebody else. Okay. Level 2, we have an explanation. It does relate to the law and vehicle safety, but it's a little bit muddy. We know that this is the law. This is Newton's first law. We can state it. And we know that seatbelts are somehow related to it, but we cannot make that connection. Okay. We're really struggling using the terminology. We're struggling making the connecting the dots there. Okay. The third one, we put this rubric basically in here for you with Newton's first, second, third law. You're going to want to state each law separately. So come up with a logical way to organize your poster. Okay. All right. State the law that you can copy and paste, if you will. Okay. And then you're going to need to pick a safety component that helps with vehicle safety due to this law. Once again, the law is acting on you in the accident. What safety feature is going to protect you and keep you alive? Okay. And then the third thing is include a visual or a picture. This is where I want the free body diagram at. Okay. All right. You're going to do that for the first law. Pick a safety feature, free body diagram. You're going to go to the second law, state it. Pick a safety feature, a different safety feature. Draw a free body diagram, explain it, then do the third law, state it, pick a different safety feature to be your third safety feature, okay, explain it, and then include a free body diagram with an explanation as well, okay? All right. The level 4 for this project is down here, come up with a new idea for vehicular safety for each of Newton's laws. So when you look back at these up here, you're gonna pick things that currently exist in all vehicles, I'd say. All right, unless you got like a farm vehicle, don't include that. I know how those go. Okay, but that is common throughout most vehicles. Pick safety features there. Level 4 is kind of getting to that idea of what could we do in addition to? Okay, what else could help us protect us from these laws? So really focus on what the law is doing to the people and the vehicles, and what else could protect them. Okay. Don't be afraid to be creative. I'm not going to punish you for weird ideas or crazy ideas, things that maybe they might make sense. They might not make a lot of sense in terms of being reasonable or reasonably priced. I don't know what you can come up with there, but anything you can come up with, just pick a different idea for each of Newton's laws. Okay? Any questions? Okay. All right, I think it's really important to understand that we are in an accident. We're not preventing accidents. We are in the accidents themselves. Okay? Anything?